Alright, good evening guys, my name is Ben.
This is Andrew.
And today we'll be doing the World of Remnant. I'm going to be knocking out the first three all together. This is, these are just informationals. We're going to be going over Dust, Kingdoms, and Grimm. All three of them in one episode. We're just going to crank them all out. Like I said, these just give you backstory to the world so you understand a little bit more about it. Okay. So they're pretty short. Not in too much commentary, so we'll just get straight to it.
Dust. By definition, it is a naturally occurring energy propellant that can be triggered by the aura of humans and faunas. But in reality, it is much, much more. Found in 4 basic forms, dust can be combined, both artificially and naturally, to form new, stronger types, each with unique properties. Since its discovery, man has concocted a multitude of ways in which to harness the powers of these mysterious crystals. From airships to androids, dust has made its way into practically every facet of technology. Some prefer to use dust in its raw form, elegant yet destructive. Those who choose to wield dust in this state must possess a certain level of discipline to ensure that their resulting powers do not break free from their control. Dust ammunition serves as a more practical application in today's modern society. With the technological advancements in weapon design, warriors need simply choose the right cartridge for the job and pull the trigger. While this has become the standard method of use, it is not uncommon to find individuals still practicing more archaic forms of dust manipulation, such as weaving it into clothing, or even fusing it directly with their own bodies. Despite working, fighting, and even turning a profit with it, humanity has still yet to understand how dust came to be. And more importantly, how their involvement with dust will ultimately change the world of Remnant.
Okay, so that was just dust.
Okay.
So pretty much,
generally
stuff you know, you're probably gonna know most of this. It's just giving you that fine tuning of all the info that you already know. So
gotcha.
So dust, like I said, you already saw it with Cinder. When she was sewing dust into it. So we're watching this after the dance. So just so you know, that's why he already knows that. But I'm gonna be posting this before we get there. So this one is Kingdoms, I believe. Oh, Grimm.
Kingdom's the third one, remember?
Oh, Kingdom's is the second one.
Oh, Kingdom was the last one. I know you're right. We completely skipped over it.
So loud.
We like it loud over here, boys.
The world of Remnant is a dangerous place, particularly for man. In the countless years that humanity has roamed the planet, civilizations have grown and fallen, but 4 have withstood the test of time: Atlas, Mistral, Vacuo, Vale. These 4 kingdoms, with the help of natural barriers and human tenacity, have proven that they have the will to survive. Each kingdom has a governing council to represent the people and their needs. Next comes the military. While most kingdoms only call on its citizens to serve when needed, others find it important to be prepared. There are still those who choose to venture outside the walls of the kingdoms. Roaming nomads and small villages are not uncommon, yet neither is their tendency to disappear overnight. Lastly, the Huntsman Academies. These institutions' sole purpose is to train the next generation of huntsmen. The next generation of defenders that will live and die to protect the lifestyle that they've become so accustomed to. Yes, the world of Remnant is indeed a dangerous place, but the Four Kingdoms stand as beacons of hope, as safe havens from the darkness that surrounds them. They are the key to mankind's survival, as long as they stand united.
I just want to say, the way she said that was very... So, in Vale, the school is called Beacon. This one is called Haven. This one is called Shade.
Okay.
So the way that she says that...
Beacons of hope.
Right.
But the Four Kingdoms stand as beacons of hope, as safe havens from the darkness that surrounds them.
Darkness, shade.
They are the key
So-
to mankind's survival, as long as they stand united.
Got you.
So super just kind of cool how they did that. So I mean, any thoughts on the either one of them? I mean, they're generally just
this is just like
stories.
info. Yeah, so it's getting to learn a little bit, which is cool. Like I said, I didn't get to really learn much about the what you would call it, the kingdoms.
Yeah, so you have Four Kingdoms. You have Vale and Beacon. That's where we are at now.
Yeah.
To the east, you have Mistral as the kingdom, and Haven as the academy.
Okay.
To the west, you have Vacuo as the kingdom and Shade as the academy.
Okay.
To the north, you have that one's a bit different, but you have Mantle and Atlas. So that one's a special case, but they'll tell you about that one later.
Gotcha.
So Mistral would be, or I'm sorry, Mantle would be the kingdom, and Atlas would be the school.
Gotcha.
Technically. All right, so Grimm, last one.
The creatures of Grimm. A ravenous, destructive force that covers the majority of Remnant. While often referred to simply as Grimm in the common vernacular, these beings serve as the greatest foe to mankind. For as long as humanity can recall walking the surface of Remnant, so do they remember this wicked force. Many ancient cultures believed the creatures of Grimm to be animals possessed by evil spirits, or perhaps the spirits of tortured animals themselves. However,
That's a
further
question you
study,
asked.
as well as the discovery of newer, more horrific forms of Grimm, does not support this hypothesis. With new creatures discovered every day, scientists perpetually find themselves with more questions than answers. While very little is known of their origin, some key facts have been observed in the wild. First and foremost, the Grimm exclusively attack humans and their creations. While occasional skirmishes between wildlife and Grimm have occurred, these instances appear to be based on territorial provocations rather than a need for sustenance. In fact, the common belief is that the Grimm are not obligated to feed. They choose to. What is perhaps even more unsettling is the basis of their attraction. The creatures of Grimm are lured towards negative emotion. In the rare instances when villages are capable of defending against a wave of Grimm, their survival is not guaranteed, as widespread panic will only lead to more attacks. Little else is known about the creatures of Grimm. Keeping them in captivity has proven to be an understandably difficult task, as the creatures tend to either die or kill those who imprisoned them in the first place. To further complicate study, the corpse of a Grimm will only remain for a short period of time before completely evaporating. Those who hunt the beasts for sport find this particularly upsetting, but manage to get by with cheap taxidermic recreations and bombastic storytelling. Although the creatures of Grimm appear mindless, more delicate observation has proven contradictory. It has been noted that while younger Grimm tend to be more reckless, older Grimm, who have managed to survive their battles, have the tendency to learn from their experience and will exercise caution in the future. This perverse form of self-preservation allows the creatures to become more effective killers. And in the end, killing is all that matters.
That one was pretty interesting.
Yeah, so Grimm are attracted to negative emotions. So if you're sad or angry or whatever, then they will come. I mean, but them being in Vale, or even more centered around Beacon, they're surrounded by, like, they have an army. So, like, there's no Grimm in the city.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
So, except for, like, the one that Professor Port, that boar he pulled, he captured and brought in, and had Weiss kill it.
Yeah.
But so they're, like I said, they're attracted to negative energy, and although they'll go and they'll attack, right? They'll be like, whoa, like my boys just kind of got killed, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna figure out a different way. Right, I'm like, is that gonna work? So I'm gonna go try something else, right? So it said that younger ones will usually just kind of go because they didn't see it, and then the older ones who have survived or whatever, they'll get bigger, badder, stronger. They'll become more effective killers. So the Grimm will evolve and become bigger. I don't know if you've seen Ursa, like when Yang landed in the forest during initiation. She fought those two Ursa.
Yeah.
They were very so let's see. Chief. This one.
Ruby? Knowing that someone and
earlier? Oh yeah, right. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So these two Ursa, right?
Yeah.
You see like their spikes on their back? Right? They're I mean they're there, but they're not like crazy.
Yeah.
So but then you have this one. Right, same type of creature. But its spikes are like a lot bigger. It has more armor all over it.
Yeah.
So like this one's older than the other ones.
They evolved and learned.
It's got bigger, and it looks bigger than the other ones too. Because Cardin is way larger than Yang is.
Yeah.
And he looks super tiny. I mean that could be a camera angle, but like you see how they're getting bigger and stuff, bigger and badder, stronger. So you can imagine that, like, if this one kept learning and stuff, he would get bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually, like, he'd become like a super whatever. I don't know if they necessarily would change. Like, he looks like a bear. I don't know if he would change to like a dog or a cat or something. I don't know if he would like
to a different type of. Like,
I don't know if he would ever like change breeds. I suppose. I don't. It's not necessarily a breed, but I don't know.
So
maybe
did they technically just kind of flaw the first trailer then, in a sense? Because they said that they would walk away from combat after seeing multiple.
They said they could. That was something I was saying. The young ones, the little ones, they're just kind of killing. Like killing's all that matters for them, right? So they're like, I see something, I want to kill it, and they just kind of go to town.
Well, they did kind of emphasize in that thing. It showed like as the young ones, they all looked like the wolves that Ruby was killing.
Yeah.
So she was pretty much killing young ones. They're very weak, very easy to deal with. But I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe one walked away while she was fighting and whatever, but because there were a lot of them. Yeah,
and they were just out of nowhere,
pretty much.
Yeah, so I mean, but but generally she was wiping them all out. So and there were no, you saw that there were no bodies anywhere because they were all evaporating. So I mean, you saw that you've seen it with several already.
Yeah.
But very good stuff. That's just what the World of Remnant is. They're there for informationals to give you more info about the world.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, like let's seclude all the info dumps in one spot so that you can like take the show. You don't have to waste time for the show. They get to reduce the chapters, and they get to they get to have more plot this way. So if they're only able to have like 12, chapters or whatever, then they can throw in a couple of these, as a side. Because obviously you've seen that there's not the same animation style. They're all generally hand drawn from what it looks like.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's really any CGI. Maybe just like a little bit here and there, but generally it's all hand drawn, and it's usually one person talking over to like a panel. It's the same narrator as in the first episode. So the Cortana lady. Yeah. So, I like her.
Yeah.
So, but all right. So we're gonna. Like I said, I'll post this with the first episode, but we're watching this like a little over halfway through the season or through the volume. So, but all right. See you guys in the next one. All right. Bye, guys.
Later.